Hi, I'm Andy Saunders and welcome to My Beautiful Mistakes. Today we're in Oxford, a place that I've been to loads, but I don't actually know very well. A city that's famously known as the city of dreaming spires. It's a big old university for Morse, for his dark materials, and of course bands. Bands like Ride and Swerve Driver that I had the pleasure of working with in the 90s, but also Radiohead, The Foals and Candy Skins, and of course Supergrass. And it's a member of that amazing band that we're going to be talking to today. Danny Goffey from Supergrass is going to be walking around his hometown with us and telling us a little bit about his beautiful mistakes. And here he is. Danny, how are you?
Evening.
Lovely to meet you.
How are you?
I'm very well. Where are we? Where are we? What's this place?
Well, I haven't been here for a while. This is Forest Hill Village,
Right.
where I kind of grew up. Spent some time since I was about 13 to 17, maybe.
Right.
And this is the village hall, which I haven't seen for a while, but we did our first kind of school gig,
Did you?
know, with a band that sort of preceded Supergrass.
Which was this the Jennifers or before that?
I think it was before the Jennifers. It was,
Right.
it could have been a band called the Stoneheads. even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
so.
saw you had a few bands, the Fallopian Tubes.
Yeah, that was almost pre-pubescent. That was a while ago.
Right.
There was the Fallopian Tubes. I think we had a band called The Girl with the Removable Face or something like that,
Okay.
which is weird. Yeah, I think this is Stoneheads. It was me, Andy Davis playing bass, and a guy called Dan Fox, I think, all from school.
Right.
All our local comprehensive was down that way. Yeah,
So you moved here when you were 13.
maybe 11.
Okay.
Somewhere, yeah, young.
How was that moving? Because that's kind of an awkward age to move, isn't it? You're leaving a friendship group and coming to a new place. And how did you find that? Or was it just as you were moving into the secondary school sort of period?
It was all right actually. I think I was the first, so I moved in the second year, so I must have been 12, I reckon.
Right.
But I moved out of this school called First Platt in Maidenhead. That was quite rough and
Oh, was it?
mental.
Right.
Well, it's fine. I just seemed to have all my friends seemed to be boxers and sniff gas canisters and go roller disco in and stuff like that and fighting everyone. So it was a bit more leafy around here, and it was a bit more relaxing. We moved to this house,
Right.
and so yeah, everything kind of chilled out a little bit, I guess.
And how did you meet kind of like-minded people? Was that at school? Is that where you met your
Yeah.
future bandmates and people that you were going to hang out with? Was it mainly the school thing?
Yeah, it was a local school up in Wheatley, and the rest of the band all live there still.
And what were you like at school? Were you academic or were you a creative or didn't you care? What kind of a kid were you?
I think it was just a talker, really,
Right.
bit chatty, not particularly academic. I scraped through, I think, got a handful of GCSEs in the end, but was really into music by the end. So I met Gaz, who was 2 years below me, so I think he was the second year, and
Right.
by this time I was probably fourth year, about 15 or something. And we just started hanging out all the time and playing music and going to each other's houses and setting up little kits in lofts and stuff
Right.
like that and starting to play.
So when did you think, I want to play drums? When was that? When did that realisation come?
That was in my brother played guitar. So
Right.
my brother's 2 years older than me, Nick, who was also in the Jennifers.
Yeah.
And spent and now directs all the Supergrass videos and stuff. Hello. How's it going? Tweedledee and Tweedledum. What are they called?
Cracking dog.
How you doing?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
They will come over if they get the opportunity.
All right. What were we talking about?
Drums, playing
Oh
drums.
yeah, so my brother had a couple of his mates had this band called the Jubbly Spuffle-Ups,
Okay.
and I got really jealous because they all used to go in his room and play sort of one-string guitars, you know, really badly and make up some strange songs and stuff. And so I went down and got my mum's Tupperware boxes and some chopsticks, or just little pieces of wood. Chopsticks in the sort of late 70s probably quite hard to find.
Quite
actually.
exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like a mahjong. You remember that
Yeah,
game?
yeah.
I remember they had Chinese writing or Japanese writing. Then I started tapping away on the boxes. And
Were there any
That's where it started.
drummers at the time that you thought, I want to be Cozy Powell or I want to be
no, not
Keith
at all.
Moon?
It's probably more like Phil Collins or something.
Okay.
Well, you know, when you're sort of like
Yeah, no.
11 or 12 or maybe a bit younger, I remember buying singles when I was 8 or 9. I really remember buying like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, stuff like that. But I do remember buying Can't Hurry Love by Phil Collins.
Right. The Motown
really
pastiche.
Yeah, like Man Eater by, what are they called?
Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Dexy's Midnight Lights, but loving, really getting into buying singles and
Do you remember what your first
listening
single
to
was?
the drums. I don't know. I remember buying Relax, but what was that? 1981?
Yeah, I would say.
So I was born in '74, so I would have been 7 or 8.
Right.
And I remember because I'd heard it was really dirty, and I thought it was really funny. And I think in those times, when I lived in Maidenhead, you could go into like a Woolworths or something and sort of listen to the record.
Yeah,
Yeah. Put it on headphones.
Absolutely.
Everyone must have been so much more relaxing. So there's like gangs of us, 8-year-olds, going around buying records and stuff.
And was that something you did a lot? Were you a record buyer? Were you a music head? Were you someone, even at those sort of 11, 12 years old, were you starting to discover music and love music?
Yeah, totally.
Did that
Didn't
come
really...
from your parents at all? Were they
Yep.
music fans?
Yeah, I think they've still got it, but they had those old racks of 45s.
Right.
You know, so like Beatles, Stones, Presley, and then sort of crooners, stuff like that. And my dad was well into it.
Right.
I remember him putting, I think it was Riders in the Storm, Doors.
The Doors, yeah.
And then coming in and going, God, we used to trip to this, man. and I was about 9 going, what? What's a trip?
And when you got a drum kit, how did that come about? Did you say I want a drum kit, or how did it happen?
Well, I was quite hyperactive as a kid, probably ADD or something would have been, and I still am a bit. But I used to sort of go around and hit things, and actually, I used to follow my mum around and tap on her arse.
Okay.
Like, just go, and she used to go, get off me! What are you doing? And I'd just be like.
You had the rhythm.
Yeah, and then I didn't know what to. I got a little punch bag first for sort of. I think my granddad got me it because he thought I had all this energy. So one of those speedballs, and that broke. And then I asked for a drum kit, and I think because I asked for a drum kit for Christmas, but so it's Christmas. Then my birthday's in February, so I just got a snare and a hi-hat, and they hid the rest of it until my birthday. So I had sort of 3 months of just going, which was really annoying for everyone in the house, probably. Yeah.
But talking about really annoying, I mean, this is a lovely, quiet, bucolic country village. How was having a drummer in the village? Did you get complaints, or were they people respectful and accommodating of you?
Actually, to be honest, my folks are pretty good because we did used to set up in the loft, which is not very insulated, or and it's just a really small little eaves loft, but you can put a kit, little practice amps and stuff like that. And we used to spend loads of times in the summer, just up there, and invariably, if we did it too late, it would be like 10 or 11 at night or something. We're still sort of tapping away, and my dad would come over and go, "Look, it's fucking 11 o'clock. What are you doing? Just get to bed. Your mother's trying to go to sleep and stuff." And, I think my dad moved his sort of little editing suite. He used to do lots of stuff with cars and that, and he's moved it up there. I think there's some old videos of Supergrass and some mad stuff still there.
Well, let's go and have a look.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wicked. Let's go.